What's up, math scholars and math haters? This is Mr. W. We're going to be tackling question 10 of the 4th grade math questions that North Carolina released this past school year. We see that a group of friends were each completing a project of the same size, and that table shows how much of the project each friend has completed, and it's asking which friends have completed an equal amount of their project. So to do really well on a question like this, you're going to need to know your fractions and also how to reduce and simplify fractions. This will be the same idea as question 9, so if you want to check that video out as well, you are, of course, more than welcome to do that. So essentially, we're looking at each of our fractions and seeing which ones can be simplified, which ones can't, and when they're simplified, which ones actually end up having an equal value. Because you can use different numbers to talk about the same fractions. That's perfectly okay. But sometimes you just need to make the numbers as small as possible. I find that's a lot easier to work with. So if we start with Michael, Michael has done 2/3 of his project. Now, when we're trying to simplify a fraction like this, we're asking what number, besides 1, is a factor of both 2 and 3. Now, 2 is prime and 3 is prime, so unfortunately there's not really going to be anything there, so 2/3 is just going to stay like it is. We come to James. James has done 1/2 of his project. We would ask if there's a number besides 1 that goes into both 1 and 2, and since one of the numbers in our fraction is just 1, that can't be simplified either, so we know that's just going to stay the same. Now we get to Leilani. And with Leilani, we can actually do some simplifying, because if we look at 6 and 8, if we ask ourselves what number goes into both 6 and 8, we might be able to remember that it's actually the number 2. So I'm going to divide 6 by 2, I'm going to divide 8 by 2, and that's going to get me 6 divided by 2 is 3, 8 divided by 2 is 4, so 6/8 is going to reduce down to 3/4. Now 3/4 unfortunately doesn't match either of these two fractions here, so let's go ahead and figure out how much of the project Sumi finished. If I look at 4 and 6, I'm going to see the same thing. I'm going to see that 2 goes into both of those numbers, so I'll divide by 2 and divide by 2. I know it's kind of blurry with the watermark there, but I'm going to divide 4 by 2, and that's going to get me 2. I'm going to divide 6 by 2, and that's going to get me 3. So 4/6 simplifies down to 2/3. So now I have two equivalent fractions, and I just need to figure out which friends these are. So that's Michael had one of the 2/3 numbers, and Sumi had the other 2/3 number, which matches choice A, Michael and Sumi.